Hey everyone, and welcome to the lesson number 2 in chapter number 3, competitor research. And today I'm going to show you and I'm going to teach you how do we know we find a good seller or not, and how do we know to find good information in each seller we following. So as you can see, this is one of the sellers we found in the last lesson. He have 24,000 items sold, active listings, sorry. I will go with you through the data, through the statistics and the numbers we see here, so you will understand exactly what we are seeing. And then I'm going to give you some input. How do we know this is a good seller or bad seller, and how do we know to find out good information for our next step? If it's a good product for selling, or if can get us an idea for niche, or if in general this seller investing in his listings, or if this seller make market research, is just copy from Amazon, and so on. So let's start. So as you can see, we have the result here for the last 30 days. Of course, you can filter between 30 days to 7 days, depends on your method, how you work. I recommend it to work on the 30 days, so we have more data. And when we have more data, we can get more impressions and understand more the seller. Then, what you see in front of you from left to right is the sell-through rate. You can see here the sell-through rate is 3%. Active listings, 24,000 listings. Sold items, 780 items sold in the last 30 days. And sell earnings is the revenue, the amount of money the seller generate in the last 30 days. We can see his country. As you can see here, this is a American flag. How many feedbacks this seller have, how many successful listings from these 24,000 items, how many of them successful, how many of them sold something, and how many of them sold nothing, and what is the average selling price. So first of all, I want you to remember that you can find out if these sellers work good or not, or if these sellers make money or not. But when I sell good seller or bad seller, I don't want you to take it to a place where you see seller with low statistics. You just skip to the next seller, because in any seller you can find opportunities, okay? So you have to be very selective in the way you see things, and you need to understand that all the way we do market research, it's very flexible. And even though this seller, for example, have only 3% sell-through rate, not means that we're just going to skip on these sellers. Yes, this seller probably don't make money. This seller probably is not a profitable seller, okay? But we still can find opportunities, okay? So as I said, 3% is a very low sell-through rate. If we're going to see sellers with 50% and more, we can already understand that those sellers are doing something right, is a good sellers. They're also probably profitable. And the second things we want to see after the sell-through rate is the sell earnings, okay? If this seller have a high sell earnings, it's always interesting, because he maybe sell more expensive items, he may be doing something right, he may be profitable. So we look on the sell-through rate, on the sell earnings, and after we look on the sell-through rate and the sell earnings, we're going to look on the average selling price, okay? And why are we looking on the average selling price? Because when we see sellers that sell over $40, $35, $40 selling average price, we can understand that we may have more opportunities in these sellers. Even if the seller have a low sell-through rate, okay, or a low sell earnings, when his average selling price high, that means he sell a little bit more expensive items, and we like items that sell for more than $30, $40, because usually in those items we have a higher profit. So we automatically from the statistic can understand, from the selling average price, can understand that we may find some opportunities, okay? Second things is the next things is the country, okay? If we do drop shipping, if we're drop shippers and we look for other drop shippers, when we see that this seller is from the United States, it can be all kind of type of sellers, because in America you have many sellers. Some people sell from their own house, some dropship from Amazon or Walmart, some are big suppliers, and it's hard for us to be sure if this dropshipper or not. We will need to check the items to make sure if this seller dropshipper or not. But when we see that the sellers come from countries like Israel, like Greece, like Cyprus, like Thailand, like Lithuania, like Bulgaria, and those countries, we are probably found dropshippers, because on those countries, most of sellers, maybe 90% of sellers are dropshippers, okay? And so you have to make sure to consider all this information, like the sell-through, the sell earnings, the average selling price, the country, also the number of feedbacks. If this seller have a very high number of feedbacks, we may not follow this seller. If you have lower number of feedbacks but very good result, we will understand this is a very good seller, okay? You have to consider all these topics and always just take it in your consideration, but not make decision based on those statistics, okay? Because bottom line, the reason we follow competitors is to find items and to find niches, okay? And how can we find items or niches? Not by the sell-through rate, not by the sell earnings, and not by the average selling price, by the items themselves. Okay, so those are the statistics. This is how we see things. When you will consider those things, it will make you a better way. It will make you a way to make a better decision. Because when you come here and you see this guy, for example, is from Bulgaria and he have average selling price of $40, you will probably find good items here. So you know, okay, right now this seller, I will invest a little bit more time to find items. When you find sellers like this with 3% here, $18 average selling price, only 780 items sold from 24,000. It's not such a good seller. His selling price, his average selling price is low. I don't know how much profitable items I can get from here, but I'm not giving up. I'm still gonna check the items, okay? So now, after we read the statistic, let's take a look on the items here. So I will scroll down to the items, and even though this seller is not such a good and profitable seller, I still can find ideas from here. And the first things we learned it also in the last video. One seller will redirect me to another seller. So I always can come to his most selling items, click on the button here and scan it on the product research to find another seller. Second things, here, of course, we want to also check the pictures to see if this is a dropshipper or not, to be sure. Here we see white backgrounds, we're probably dropshippers. We want to check the titles. It is very important for us to take the titles and the number of sales, of course, and the selling price. Titles help us to understand if this seller is a good seller, if this seller is investing into his listings. Here, as you can see, this seller is almost not making nothing beside adding new. You can see that by a few small signs, and mostly those signs is these small lines, this line here, this bracket here, this line here, as you can see, those here, as you can see, the 3 dots. Those signs give you the idea that this seller is just copying from Amazon, only copying from Amazon, okay? And when we see seller is only copy paste from Amazon, this is not kind of sellers we want to invest our time researching those sellers, okay? So take in your consideration to check the titles, see the seller investing into his titles, and of course the most important things, the seller have sales. Always focus on sales first, okay? When you see a lot of sales, you will want to investigate the item. Always look on the picture, look on the title, look on the selling price. So we're going to always start from the most selling item, and we're going to see the titles, the number of sales, and the selling price. If we see low selling price, it may be good items to generate traffic to our store, but not to make profit. So if you ask me, my personal opinion, when I see this picture here and I see those titles, I already see from the statistic that is not such a good seller. I see from these titles also is just coming from Amazon. I will look on the number of sales and I will scroll down to item that at least can give me some profit. This item here, okay? sold for $31. Show title. What we learn from this situation here, that first of all, we can maybe have $3 profit, okay? Second of all, you have very short title. I can improve the title. So in the next video, you're gonna learn how to source item, how to find item from your competitors, how to copy item from your competitors, and how to take decision. But I already gonna say you now, as you can see, short title, $30 selling price is the highest selling price so far we see in these items here, sold 4 times. Maybe for me this is going to be the most interesting from this seller. So I hope you learn in this lesson how to read the statistics here, how to understand what is important for us here, what not. As we say, title, picture, number of sales, selling price. Always try to think profitable, okay? Don't try to make sales, try to make profit. This is the way you need to see the things. This is how business people see their business. They come to make business because they want to make profit. Thank you very much. See you in the next lesson and have a nice day. Ciao, ciao.